understanding the Rigathi Gachagua Uhuru background from A to present. When Jomo Kenyatta was about to die, there was a verbal agreement between Daniel Arap Moi and Jomo Kenyatta that Arap Moi would take over, and then later he would return the favor. By returning the favor, which was called Goshokia Roemo Karo, it was never meant for the tribe, but it was meant for the family. So, Goshokia Roemo Karo most likely or most definitely meant that the next president was to be Peter Moigai Kenyatta. Jomo Kenyatta had two sons who were both called Peter Kenyatta. There was Peter Magana Kenyatta, who was born and has spent 98% of his life in England. And then there was Peter Moigai Kenyatta, the son of Mama Wahu. Those who come from Rescos or Dagoretti Corner area know about Mama Wahu. The two things happened after Jomo Kenyatta died. The first thing is that within weeks, if not months, of Jomo Kenyatta's death, Peter Moigai Kenyatta died. And also, because of the political climate at that time, Moi became a president for 24 years. When things seemed as if, in 1992, there was a case in court that he should not contest because he had been sworn in several times, but the court decided that since it was a new constitution, time limit, then he would start at 92 and end 2002. So around 1995, he approached Mama Ngina with a request that he makes Mohoho Kenyatta to be the next president. But Mama Ngina felt that Mohoho was better in business, and he was poor in politics. But Uhuru, naturally, he's Jama wa Mtaa. So it was decided that Uhuru be inducted into politics. So when Uhuru was inducted into politics, in 1997 he stood for Gatundu seat. But he was beaten hands down for a very simple reason that two reasons made him not get the seat. The first one was the hatred that people in Gatundu and Kikuyu land in general had for the party KANU. He was even being told that if his father was to rise up from the dead and contested the Gatundu seat on KANU ticket, he would lose. The other trick that was played on Uhuru was that his competitor, on the eve of the elections, his competitor went to the slaughterhouse, bought a bucket full of cow blood, it was at night, he went and parked his vehicle near a popular place, then poured the cow blood inside his vehicle and out of it, and then disappeared. That was on the election eve. And even those people who were for Uhuru turned against him. And the story which was going around was that his father killed people. Now he has started killing people. He has started killing, and he had killed the candidate Moses. On the election day, those days, people used to vote up to 6. At around 5 p.m., this fellow came, took out his vehicle, cleaned it, and continued with the life. When people said, why don't you go and make a report to the police, he said, why should I make? I'm not complaining of anything. And that is how Uhuru lost. Uhuru went back to his drinking habits, and Moi noticed that there was a Dio who was very influential, who was slightly younger than Uhuru, whom he could use to uplift Uhuru. That is how Rigathi Gachagua came in. Rigathi Gachagua came in as the DO was made a PA, personal assistant to Uhuru. He is the one, you know, Uhuru used to drink 25 hours a day. So he's the one who polished Uhuru up politically and made him. Then from there, Uhuru was appointed by Mois to be the chairman of Kenya Tourist Board, and later Noah Arap Mark Too, not Noah Arap Too. Noah Arap Too was the CID man, but Mark Too, the East African Standard fellow, was compelled to resign as a nominated MP. And so you'll find that I want to say two things here. The first thing I want to say is that if you look at JM Kariuki, he was the PA to Jomo Kenyatta for about 5 years. He came out to be very rich. Rigathi Gachagua was the PA to Uhuru for 5 years. He came out. If someone knows that there is a vacancy for the job of a PA in Kenyattas, please send me there. I want to be there for 5 years. So when Uhuru became the president, these instances of arresting and harassing Rigathi Gachagua started coming in. When they started harassing Rigathi Gachagua, that is where Rigathi Gachagua, and that is why you hear Rigathi Gachagua saying, wewe nilikutoa ukiwa mlevi kwa night club nikakuunda nikanini. It is painful on his part. I'm not trying to say that my part, I'm not trying to justify anything or anything, but I'm just trying to explain to you why Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru are on bad terms. Rigathi Gachagua does not also like the jamaa vitendawili, but his bile is more to Uhuru Kenyatta than Raila Odinga. Lastly, as I'm about to finish, I want to say that if today Raila and Uhuru convinces everybody that they have retired from politics. You know, they can genuinely retire, but people don't believe. They would think that they're ambushing. But if they convince people and people believe genuinely that Uhuru and Raila have retired, then most likely Kikuyus will front Didi Nyoro. Because if you look at Ruto is the only president in Kenya's history who has groomed. Although we can also say that Jomo groomed Arap Moi, but you'll find that in Kenyan politics, people don't want to groom people who take over from them. But you'll find that Ruto has taken this kina Didimas Baraza, kina Cleophas Malala, kina Ishungwa, kina KJ. He's grooming the next lot of leaders in Kenya. So once, I believe that once these two are out, it is even possible that Rigathi Gachagua will not contest. Although when you join politics, you don't want to come out, even if you are a stopgap fellow. Or you may find that if the two retire permanently, you'll find that both Rigathi Gachagua and Didi Nyoro will start fighting. Politicians will always fight each other. When the worst enemy goes, you have find another top ranking. Another thing is that as Rigathi Gachagua is busy fighting Uhuru and Raila, if these people get out of the scene, you'll now find him now targeting Musalia Mudavadi. That is how politics are, but I just wanted us to share on the background of the differences between Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru. Rigathi I can also agree with him that molding somebody to be the head of the state, and when he's the head of state, you are placed in handcuffs. Very few people would really like that.